Recording in progress. All right, the sentence is death. Darkness descends. What's up, everyone?
Great album.
Yeah, yeah, great stuff. And they have some new stuff out. This is Rich Catino. Well, I'm not Rich Catino.
You would
That's
be
Rich
Jack
Catino.
Mangan,
Yeah.
right?
Um, yeah. Actually, we're not side. This is a different configuration. We're on Zoom instead of StreamYard. Lots of love for StreamYard, but we're just trying something different. What's up, Rich? How are you doing?
All right, how's it going? Ready to talk about our monthly music releases that are coming out, which we're going to try and keep up with now.
Yeah. Rich and I are talking. This is a new thing we're doing at Metal Asylum. We've tried a lot of different stuff over the years, and that's not all of our old formats are not dead. We'll just still do interviews sometimes. I love the thing Rich and I used to do. I don't want to go on a tangent right away, Rich, but I love the thing we used to do where we would talk about one really well-known song and then one really obscure song and try to try
Yeah.
to share some knowledge, share like, hey, you can't only listen to stuff that it can't only have five tapes in your tape deck. You can only have Pantera,
Uh,
Slayer, and Metallica. Like you gotta have like there's some good obscure stuff out there. I loved when we did that, but it didn't. That kind of thing is always going to be a hard sell. Like people want to hear it. They want to talk about. We're not going to take
I,
it.
I kind of forgot we did like the popular song, and then we did a song that wasn't a hit. I think it was, or a deep track. I forgot what we did actually.
Yeah, that was the shtick. Was yeah, we would talk about a song that was really well known, and then it didn't matter what the connection was, but there would be some
Right.
kind of connection to the song that was lesser known.
Right.
I can't even think of a great. Well, actually, I can. I remember when we had Sam Saltman on. Sam Saltman. I had said "Eagle Fly Free," one of the greatest power metal songs ever recorded ever, and then a
Yeah.
Seven Kingdoms song that was a little bit less well known because again, great
Oh, from a
band.
different band. Okay.
Yeah, or it could be the same. Like I think that our rule, like that, we kept the rules pretty light. We just wanted to share lesser
Yeah.
known songs with people.
Yeah. Like I think my one of my choices was Skid Row. Um,
Yes.
It was a single, it was a video, but it wasn't a hit like I Remember You and 18 in Life. It was from the first album,
Was
Piece
it
of Me.
Piece of Me? It was
Piece
Piece
of
of
Me.
Me, yeah.
Yeah, which was a video. So yeah, I do remember that one. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a great song. That's probably one of my favorite Skid Row songs.
Yeah,
Anyway,
and I
I
think you had
digress.
forgot. I think you forgot that it was a video too, but I don't think it was an official single. I think it might have just been a video.
I might have never seen the video.
Dude, you never saw that video?
Well, back in the day, I might not have ever seen it.
It
Like,
was like just all live and just people stage diving and going crazy. It was great.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if Headbangers Ball loved Skid Row. They
They
loved
played it.
yeah.
They
That would
played
have
it.
been the only place you would have seen it.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
So here we are, April. We're going to talk about music that came out in March and April because I think we did January, February, right? So this will be new music that came out in March and April,
yes,
correct?
yes,
Yep.
yes. Sorry, I'm told how unprofessional. I'm looking at my messages here. Yes. So yeah, let's do this. We'll keep it short. People don't want to hear us just random bullshit. So talk to me, Rich. What's one of the things you're listening to?
All right. Well, I'm going to give you three together because I just recently talked about them with Pete Pardo over at Sea of Tranquility because we do that topic, the new wave of traditional heavy metal. So it's
Yes.
been a monthly or bi-monthly thing. We try to do it monthly. We do 5 bands. So it's a recent listen for me that I've been listening to four of them out of the five because it takes like a month to get into them and listen to, pick a band each week and listen to their music, right? So one of them is this band called Morax, The Amulet. Have you heard of them?
No, that's completely new to me.
Yeah, they're interesting. The singer kind of reminds me of Thomas from Celtic Frost.
Okay.
Kind of got that tone. It's traditional new wave of traditional heavy metal, but it's got little tinges of black metal riffing, but like melodic type. So they kind of remind me of Watain at times.
Okay.
So I find them interesting. Great artwork too when you look them up. It's got a all green cover with like this eye that's in the smoke that's on the cover. It's really neat. The other one is a band called Saber, Lost in Flame. Have you heard of them?
Yes, Mark Pruitt just wherever he is, he just suddenly sat up and went, "Somebody's talking about Saber."
Oh,
Our good
really?
our good friend Mark Pruitt. Yeah, he's a big fan. Yeah, they're
Okay.
excellent, excellent. They're a little bit more now. This band you just talked about, which I'm sorry, totally, the name already fell out of my stupid head. That
Okay.
sounds heavier than new wave of traditional heavy metal. It sounds more
It's
black.
still new wave of traditional heavy metal
It
though.
is. All
It's
right, I'll
just
check it out.
it's got these sections in the songs that have this like little bit of black metal riffing with kind of that Celtic Frost kind of tone, but the music is still melodic and it's still traditional metal. So it's an
Yeah,
interesting hybrid, you know?
yeah, gotcha.
But Saber is like if you like a band like Striker or Haunt or Night Demon or Skullfist, that very traditional, straightforward heavy metal.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
check them
yeah.
out. Great cover too. Did you ever see the cover with the
No,
demon and the skeletons and the fire all around it? It's very cool.
no, I got to check that out. Yeah, but
Okay,
good band. I like the music. Yes, good band.
all right. And then the other one is Tyran's Oath,
Excuse me.
which is new. If you like Primal Fear, you like these
Okay,
guys. It's got that kind of German feel, the mid pace, chugging traditional heavy metal thing going on, like Primal Fear does when they're not doing their speedy power metal songs. It's
sure.
the other side of their music. So check out Tyran, and it's Tyran's Oath. That's the title.
Tyran or TIR?
Tyran, yeah, and then it's Tyran's, and then Oath.
Nice. All right.
Yeah,
Taking note. All right. Let me go. I don't know if you have more, but let me jump in and do a couple,
yeah.
and
Go
then
ahead. Yeah, do a couple.
the first one I want to call out is I liked their last album very much. They have a new album for 2025, which I like very much. The band is called Messa, Messa. They're an Italian band. They're kind of considered doom metal. They're a little bit more,
I've heard that name.
yeah, I would say there's a little bit of an alternative, kind of dark alternative edge to them. But they have
Mhm.
female vocalists, and it's when you say doom, I don't want you to think like Candlemass and like like early Typo Negative. They're a little bit more catchy, and not
Okay.
in a bad sense, but but I like it. Span, I can't believe you haven't mentioned, but I think you will definitely like. There's a
Mhm.
heavy thrashy band called Warbringer. Their album is making waves.
Oh, I think you know why? Because I think I mentioned them last time. But go ahead.
Did you? Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to check the notes, but yeah, I've been really digging their new album. I like the lyrics, I like the stuff they're on about. But I really like the guitar, the rhythms,
Mhm.
the riffs, like excellent thrashy guitars. The vocals is kind of like a Moonspell style, kind of a harsh vox, which but it's good. I dig it.
Mhm.
I think they'll well actually for me probably both of those will make an appearance at the end of the year best of list. I'll do one more, which actually this one will definitely I guarantee this will be in my probably my top 10. The band it's not an Evergrey album, but Johann Niemann from Evergrey released a solo album. It's called The Vast Expanse. And it's just instrumentals. It's got a little bit of Floyd to it. But it's it's metal stuff, but it's excellent, really good. I'm really I need to listen to that one a bunch more. I've only listened to it a couple of times, but yeah, it's kind of my surprise, my first big happy surprise of 2025 in the music world. So yeah, I'd
Okay.
say Messa, Italian Doom, but again, it's not like really bleak Doom. Warbringer, heavy,
Okay.
excellent, good stuff.
The
And then
Warbringer
Johann
came out
Neiman.
last month, by the way. I just
It
checked.
did,
So I don't know if we talked about it. Maybe we did because I reviewed it about a month or two ago for Brave Words. So maybe we did talk
yeah.
about it.
Well, and the Johann Neiman is also, past few months. It's not
Okay.
new for April. So I mean, it
Yeah.
should make that qualification too. Is that I'm talking about stuff
It's
that's
kind of like March,
relatively,
April that we're doing. Yeah.
yeah, relatively new. Like
Mhm.
if you make a discovery like, oh crap, this thing came out in December, but it's awesome. Like I'm not going to say you broke the rules.
No, no,
I'm not
right.
going to throw a flag.
Right. We're just trying to stay relatively new for this month. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, you know what? I only have one more album, so let me talk the album, and then I want to talk about a couple of new songs. So
Right.
the last album I wanted to bring up was Allegion, which again I don't know exactly when that came out, but I think that is April. The Ossuary Lens, they're Colorado based, but they definitely have a mellow like a Swedish mellow death
It is
metal
April. I'm looking at releases
sound to
for
'em.
this month. It's April. Yep.
Yeah. And again, I know they've been around. This is not my first pass listing them. They're good. I've always kind of liked them, but this one
Mhm.
it really kind of hit. That's one I will be going back. I've only given it one pass, but I really kind of hit home. Heavy
Okay.
stuff, but good songwriting, good riffs. I'm giving it two thumbs up. So yeah, that's the new albums for me. I don't know. Did you have more?
Yeah, I got a couple more.
All right, bring it.
All right. This band called Wanted. It's called Late Attraction. They're like, if you like we all like our old school Dokken and Rat, right? Rough Cut. I hear Armored Saint too in this band. So it's really cool, really catchy, very old school 80s thing going on. You'd like them.
The Dokken, Rough Cut, and Armored
Rat and
Saint
Armored
and
Saints, a
Rat.
little bit of everything. Yep. Because they were all
Yeah,
from the West
definitely.
Coast, that West Coast thing.
Yeah, that's a wild combination.
Yeah, so they'll remind you of them. Check them out. They're right up your alley. This other band, Sirens, who I just came across. The album is called "In Goat We Trust." So there's an evil goat on the front cover. Pretty cool. They probably got the title, for the band, the name, probably from Sabotage, right? Maybe.
Yeah, yeah,
I
that's
don't
what
think I
this.
really hear Sabotage in them though, but they remind me of Lordy meets power metal. So you know how
Okay,
Lordy has, that band that dresses up like monsters, but they got kind of aggressive music, kind of like War, but the hooks are very catchy.
okay.
So this band reminds me of them, but then they have this power metal thing going on with the fast tempos and the double bass. So I thought they were interesting. This other band called Night, but it's Nite, which
Yeah,
we've talked about them before. You said they sound familiar, right? The name?
yeah. I know that we get. I know. Yeah, we checked out. They get a lot of good PR. Like their PR folks are pretty. They have a lot of belief in them. Like,
Okay. I
yeah,
got to
in their
listen to
band.
them more, but I liked it because I do like
Okay.
my melodic black metal. So that's called Cult of the Serpent. They kind of remind me of this band named Bewitcher, who are part of the new wave of traditional heavy metal, who right?
Yeah, yeah,
They kind of got that same vibe. It's like Motorhead meets Venom, and that's what this band Night reminds me of.
yeah. I'm intrigued for sure.
But more melody going on, so I like them. Oh, even sometimes a little bit like Witchery, who are one of my favorites, who came out like 20 years ago now.
Right.
It was
Yeah,
kind of thrashy. It was kind of thrashy, kind of a little bit of black metal, but it still had melody to it.
yeah. That's you're saying all the right things. I'm definitely intrigued.
Cool.
Yeah,
Who else? Two more I got. Savage Master, who just played Hell's Heroes Festival in Texas a couple months ago.
yeah. I know that.
Dark and Dangerous is the album. Really cool. Like accept type of traditional old school heavy metal going on there. I thought they
Yeah, they
were
had
great.
the female vocalist, and I know
Mhm.
that they're on the rise for sure. I know that they're getting a lot of buzz, and
Yeah.
and they're rising from and it's totally cool to headline a bar. That is not a bad thing. I'm saying they're rising from headlining bars, like headlining like bigger
Uh-huh.
venues. So
Yeah.
yeah, good for them to be on the
I saw
rise.
their footage from Hell's Heroes and they were great.
Yeah, excellent.
A lot of people were digging them. So yeah, that's as far as the new stuff that's out there. There is a few other things that came out though, which we didn't mention for April. There's a new LA Guns coming out, which I got to check out.
Yeah, it's not out yet though. I don't think. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah,
Yeah.
I,
You
I
know who else has an album coming out? Which we were just talking to the bass player Jarvis from Night Demon. He plays with Kyra the Ungle, and they have a live album coming out. Did you know that?
yes, I saw that come through. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah,
Yeah, so I need to check that out. It's called Live at the Roxy, so I'm very curious about that.
yeah, he made a good case for them and their history. Um,
Yeah, for the uh, Metal Hall of Fame for right a consideration.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Um, Let me see who else. Ingve has another live album coming out, so I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't like much of newer Ingve's, but I'll be curious. I'll check it out.
well, the production's got to be better than his last studio outing. Good Lord. Like,
His last many studio albums
well, I'm
just
not
the
even talking
production.
about songwriting. I'm just saying like it sounded like it was recorded in Audacity. Like it was just, and I love
Mhm.
Audacity, but it was like Ingve, do better with the at least with the production. Like
There's too many
guitar.
of his albums. I think post Facing the Animal, which is his last great one I consider, which is
Yeah,
late '90s. He's had his moments here and there since then, but production wise, the records there's a lot of them that need remixes, remasters. I think.
and that's the thing Rich cares a lot about. I'm very forgiving of poor sounding out or poor production. Like,
Really?
some of my favorite albums of all time were have shit production. Kill 'Em All, first Maiden album. I can name, I
Yeah,
can go
but
on
if
and
you
on.
listen to the remaster, though, they have it better. It's improved. You know.
Sure, but there's still like there's still sound like there's still something to be said. Like if you have good songs and bad production, I'm there. I mean, allegedly, this is where Rich and I definitely disagree, but I
Uh-huh.
don't see a problem with Born Again, but I think, that's a great album. But
Oh my God!
most
Please,
of the
dude.
most of the world is like, oh my God, remix it. But
Oh my God!
for
I
me
I
though, I mean,
listened. Wait, I listened to Born Again recently on my record player, vinyl, and there's low and high points in the mix, and every time Tony Iommi's guitar solo comes on, it goes through my ears like cats fighting in an alley. It kills me. It's so piercing. I think I almost went deaf. Just
and
it's terrible.
Iommi and Iommi, I mean, I'm sorry, and Gillan, like
Uh,
Ian Gillan's like he's the ultimate shrieker out of all of Sabbath's history,
yeah.
and his shrieks would definitely go there too. But I love it. I think it works for that album. The songs are supposed to be scary and mysterious. Like
Mhm.
if you clean up the drums and the
You
low
can't
end
even hear
on,
them. They sound like they're under a pillow.
but if you clean, I'm saying if you make that crisp on like Zero
Yeah.
the Hero, then that song loses all of its power and evil.
I think if you balance it out, it'll sound better. Maybe not crisp it up, but balance everything out, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, like I said, this is actually this is a good topic because I mean, I feel
Right?
like,
I know we're on a tangent,
yeah, where there's a total tangent. But I'll say
but
one
it's
more
true
thing,
though.
then I'll shut up. And then but I'm not saying you shut up. You have more to say. But I feel like if Maiden today were to say we're going to re-record the very first Maiden album, and it's going to
We're not
sound
saying re-record, we're saying remix. Difference.
well, right. That's what I'm saying. If they were to redo it and say it's going to sound,
Yeah.
I would so prefer the scratchy, tinny
Mhm.
sounding original to, and that's not a commentary on Bruce versus Paul. It's just that stuff is sacred.
Yeah.
Like if Metallica said, "Hey, we're going to redo Kill 'Em All with the great," or Exodus said, "We're going to," I don't know. I
Yeah.
digress. Actually, Exodus did do
That's
that.
another topic. That's
Yeah.
another topic.
Yes.
So
Um, some
what
new
else
songs.
was new? Right. There was we were talking about Ghost because their album
Yes.
actually drops in a week, which we didn't realize.
Yeah,
And
April
we were
25th.
talking about how the first song was kind of forgettable, but the second one, which has a video, which is how do you pronounce it? Lachrima?
Lacrima is the second
Lacrima.
Ghost
Okay.
single. Yeah.
Much better song. I like that one.
It is, I think I don't know if Tobias is just doing what he does and
Hmm.
public opinion be damned, but he may have been responding to everyone saying Ghost isn't heavy anymore because it's
Hmm.
but then that chorus, man, that chorus is like written by
Poppy.
like Michael Bolton or something. It's the chorus. I think, and I've seen. I'm not the only person who feels that way, but yeah, like it's got a good heavy riff, but then the chorus it loses me a little bit.
Yeah.
I love Ghost, by the way. I love Ghost, and I love melodic music, and I don't care about. Like I don't sit and obsess about like, well, I like this, but is it metal or not? I don't care. If it's good, I
It
like it.
is metal. How can you not call it metal? It's metal. Of course it's metal.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm in the camp to say that Ghost is metal. However, yeah, Lacrima is good. Yeah, the first song. I mean, I should give it a couple more spins. I can't even think of
I don't
how the
think it's
first one
great.
sounds. Like
Yeah, I don't think
yeah. So
we'll see. You got to check out the record when it comes out next week.
yeah, so new Ghost. Yeah, it comes out on April 25th. There's a new Dark Angel song, which I've seen some lackluster responses to, but I think it's good. I think it's good. Have you
Hmm.
heard it? Have you listened to
I
it?
have. I think the vocals are really like more aggressive and harsh than they used to be.
Yeah, yeah, and the guitars are pretty fierce. I mean, it's a decent. It's not like, oh my gosh, this is their best song. It's fine. Like I'm not
Yeah.
worried. Like I said, I've seen some bitching, but I feel like I'm
Hmm.
not worried. Like, oh my God, the new album's good. Like I think it's a fine
Yeah.
song.
What
One
else?
actually, you and I didn't. Actually, I want to make sure I said it is. There's a new Candlemass song, right? I believe.
Isn't
th-
there? And isn't there an EP? Let me see.
Yes, actually, I'm going to type and look. I know that's super unprofessional, but
Which I have to look that up because I have to yet check that out.
yes, there is a new one. The song is called. I want to make sure I had the right name. The
Is
new
it out or
song
coming out?
is
No, Candlemass comes out in May. It's called Black Star. It's an
Black
EP.
Black Star. Oh, that's right. It is an EP, right? The
Yeah.
song is out. The song Black Star has been released. Which my first spin, I was like, this is crap. And I listened to it again.
Yeah.
And my opinion like flipped completely. I think it's a
Okay.
good song. So check out the new Candlemass.
I gotta check it out because I am a fan.
And then a band you and I like a lot, and we've actually talked to the vocalist a couple of times. Hellstar's new song is pretty good.
Okay. I gotta check them
Again,
out.
it's not going to rewrite Hellstar history, but it's
Yeah.
good. It's a good
Okay.
song. There's one more I wanted to mention. As a band, I don't know the rest of the album, so I'm not going to talk about the band too much, but I think you'll like it, Rich. As a
Okay.
traditional Swedish heavy metal band called Teaser Sweet, which
That's
sounds
right.
like, it sounds like it'd be in like an LA strip band,
Totally. That's
but
cool.
but no, it's more traditional. It doesn't really have a hair kind of sound to it, but the song's called Deep in the Woods. You'll also like the video because it's like a slasher movie in a
Oh,
video.
cool.
So
All right.
it's like they were like, we need to make something for Rich. Like they're like, what can we make that's gonna make Rich Catino happy? Let's make a slasher video with
With
traditional
melodic
metal.
metal. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm right there. That's why I'm such a King Diamond fan. You know, it's melodic, it's metal, but it still combines with horror. I'm so there.
they're not quite as heavy as that, and it's a
Yeah.
female vocalist again. She's got a good voice. She's got definitely got a good voice.
Okay.
Yeah, Teaser Sweet. I think you'll dig it. So check
Okay.
that one out. And I'll check out. Like you gave me a whole list. I shouldn't. I'll get it from you
Yeah,
when we're done.
we got Wanted,
Wanted.
Sirens, Morax, Saber, Knight, but Nite, Savage Master, Tyran.
All right, I'm down.
And
And no, go ahead.
real quick too, we forgot to talk about a couple vinyls that came out, which I wanted to mention last time, and I totally forgot. So if
Yeah,
you didn't get
go
it,
for it.
the Judas Priest Rock and Roll,
Which you said
which is
sounds bad. Like I think it's not their best album, but you said that the production sounds better. You can hear the songs better, right?
yeah,
Or
yeah, you can hear the riffs better. It's just like I said, it's balanced now, a little more balanced. It's not as tingy, because this is what 73, I think.
and speaking of Priest, rest in peace, Les Binks.
Yes, Les Binks, which is like a day or two, 24 hours ago, something like that, right? But this sounds a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like 24 hours ago, right? Because
Well, the announcement. Yeah,
this
I
is a
don't know
Tuesday.
when.
So it was Monday.
Yeah, I don't know when it happened. But yeah, yeah. Rest
Yeah.
in peace. Great, great
Yep.
drummer.
Yep. And Rat out of the cellar with this fancy cover now. When you turn it, it changes color to blue.
Oh, I can't catch it. We can't really see it on the screen
Yeah, I
though. That's
know.
cool.
But this is the 40th anniversary. It's got the lenticular cover on red and black splatter vinyl, which is, dude, I mean, these splatter vinyls, some of them look like crap, but this one, check this out, how cool this is.
That's pretty sweet.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, and good
Yeah.
timing for Warren DeMartini and Stephen Pearcy to reunite on
Yeah.
stage.
Yep. And it comes with the single that was not released at the time, Reach for the Sky. Not from the
Oh
album,
yeah,
but it was, recorded at that time, supposed to be for that era and on
yeah.
Out of the Cellar, but it didn't make it. So you get that single here, which is
I
cool.
don't I don't remember. I remember the song. I don't remember that artwork. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's cool.
No, I don't think they ever released it like that. They never released it anyway. It was unreleased until now.
The song is. I mean, I don't know. I've heard the song. Maybe it's through you. Maybe through YouTube deep dives
Yeah.
years ago. But yeah, it's a good song. It's not. I mean, again, not like.
It's not great,
But
but it's
it's
fine.
fine. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like Wanted Man or one of their best or
Right,
Lay
right.
It Down. But yeah, it's good stuff.
But you know what I rediscovered by listening to this again? Scene of the Crime became one of my favorites now from this album.
Yeah, that is a good one. I mean that's one of the all-time great albums of that genre, and
Oh my God, dude. This is a foundation of LA glam metal at the time, right? 1983, 84.
yeah. I mean, there's maybe only I don't even know what I would say is the filler on that album. Like every song is good, but yeah, that is one of those albums. It's funny that you say that.
Uh,
Like when you go back and listen to it, it's like yeah, this like you listen to some of the deeper cuts and go like, you know what, this is a really good song. That's
I
one of
think the
those
only one
albums.
that's maybe not as strong as the rest is She Wants Money. It's fine.
That's the phone call one, right?
Yeah, I think so. Or you're thinking Got Me on the Line from Invasion of Your Privacy.
Oh yes, yeah,
That's
yeah,
got the phone call.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
But She Wants Money.
But
It's not bad. It's just not as strong as the rest. But the rest you got I'm Insane, Back for More, Lack of Communication, In Your Direction, You're in Trouble, Wanted Man, Round and Round. It's just stacked.
yeah, no, it's a fantastic album.
Yeah. So if you can get those two on vinyl, they sound great on vinyl.
All right.
Yeah.
Um, All right. Well, I think we covered everything. Should I mean we should have done this up front, but we should plug other stuff we got going on. You're like the busiest. You're like on. Are you on Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon next week? You're on like every show
No.
these days.
Well, I'm only doing two things. I usually do them each month. Usually, it's the new wave of traditional heavy metal with Pete over at CH Tranquility, and then I will also do something with Pete and John from Lair of the Alchemist, where we talk about now we've gotten into this rabbit hole of the '80s underground metal bands and ranking their discography, which is really cool. So we've done Omen so far and Liege Lord.
Okay.
So getting into the bands that people knew, but they weren't as big as all the household names, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So we have like a whole, I mean, there's so many of them. We even ventured into Canada too. So we got Coney Hatch on the list. Who do you know them?
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's Sean Kelly who is part of
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
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 So Coney Hatch, Honeymoon Suite, um, all those bands from Canada. Um, and then we got, from America, there's Virgin Steel, Hellstar. Oh my God, give me a couple more. Uh,
My
there's so
go-to.
many that were. What's
Yeah.
that?
My go-to is Heathen. We're never got as big
Heathen's a
as
good
them.
one. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one. Who else?
My go-tos are always going to be like the Techios bands, like
Oh yeah, that's
nonfiction.
a great one.
Yeah,
Nonfiction and Hades.
yeah,
We didn't put them on the list, but I would totally throw them on there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah,
yeah, I do those
Black
each
and Blue.
month or every other month. We just got into that. So I do those two. And then I write for Brave Words, and we both contribute to the Metal Hall of Fame too. So four ongoing things going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And what about
yeah.
you?
And
And we
well, I
do
mean,
this too. We try and do something for Metal Asylum, of course, every month or two, right?
yeah, Metal Asylum. Yeah, we should do this more often. This is always fun, and I think
Mhm.
it's good stuff. I mean, I'm pretty much all slam all the time these days. Although, yes, we are still definitely. I've had some good conversations with Pat Waldo recently. So Metal Hall of Fame got some
Yeah.
exciting stuff coming up. But yeah.
Which I got to give you that article. Remember, we were talking about two articles, right?
Yeah, Rich and I have some articles in the pipeline
Which I got to
for
finish the one.
yeah. There's cool stuff coming there. But yeah, so support life and music. I'll do the 30-second speech. That's that is my what I spend 18 hours a day working on. So yeah, it's a
Mhm.
nonprofit to support musicians, help fight back against the musician suicide numbers are off the charts. It's really gotten it's actually considered one of the most dangerous professions now because of how bad the suicide rates have gotten. It's awful. So
And
support
just
life and
outlets
music.
though too, though outlets for where to find equipment and help on the road and things like that too, right?
Yeah, well, we'll get there. Right now our focus is really on working to help musicians kind of make it through. We'll make
Mhm.
it through there. There are some good organizations out there that do a lot of good, but support life and music. This is our niche. So SLAM, of course, is our acronym. So yeah, it's all slam. Well, right now we've got a bunch of conversations out. Like it's not actually slam is not 100% metal focused, but because
Mhm.
my background is metal and many of the people I know are metal, there's been a lot of metal conversations on there. And Rich Catino's great friend, the great guy Jack Frost is part of our council. So I've got a legendary podcaster named Evo Terra on our council, and we're doing some good. We're spreading the word. We're helping people to recognize that they're not alone. Like they can kind of continue and keep going. Actually, I took an excerpt of we did a Metal Asylum interview with Jarvis Leatherby from Night Demon, which is a great interview. But I took out like
Mhm.
a 5-minute segment of him kind of talking about how to cope with dark feelings and his sobriety and everything. I thought was great. So that posted that on Slam.
And how
Uh,
to have a positive attitude to navigate working in the industry.
Yeah, because it's literally a dangerous profession to choose. So that's what Slam's all about. And I will say it. I'm really bad about pitching for cash, but it is completely funded by contributions and donations and that kind of thing. So if you got extra bucks, it will help us to do more good. I'll talk more about Slam elsewhere. But that's mainly my focus these days. But yeah, that's it.
And are you
Rich
doing
is,
any going to any shows coming up before we go?
yes, I am. I saw a couple of recent shows. I saw Caballero, who, he always blows the doors off the place. I saw Jeff Tate do his Operation Mindcrime in full,
That's right.
allegedly the final time. But coming up, I have something coming up in May. I don't remember what. I don't remember what I'm going to see in May.
I'm looking at my calendar. I got a couple.
Yeah. So yes,
So you can't
there's a
think.
bunch of big shows this year, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'll have to get back to you. Next time we
All
talk, we'll
right.
talk about shows.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll do one in May because I'm going to go see Winger and Bullet Boys in the beginning of May in Pennsylvania.
That's right. Speaking of, final tours, like that's
Yeah, Winger. Yeah, Kip Winger's going to be doing his classical music. That's what he loves to do.
yeah.
I'm going to try and catch the third day of M3 because that's when Stephen Piercy and Dave Martini are doing their show. They're headlining Sunday night.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I'm going to try and go to that day because it's pretty good. It's got Warren, it's got Spread Eagle. Remember Spread Eagle?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
Spread,
WSOU favorite.
yeah, Spread Eagle, Warren, Vixen, Great White, I think, and Lita Ford. So it's a pretty stacked day. I'm going to try and do that. And Spread Eagle's actually playing in New Jersey in June 7th. That's what I'm seeing in my calendar here. So I'm going to go check that out too.
Are they
So
like headlining or what are they?
Spread Eagle, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, a couple coming up.
Yeah, I was just taking a quick look to try to see if I could see what my concert is in May. Man, I need I don't know.
Start putting them in your phone like I do. I put them in my phone so I can remember them. When you
Yeah,
get the
actually they are
alerts.
in my phone, but I'm on my phone right now. So
Oh,
I'm using my phone to do this call. So anyway,
okay.
yeah, this is a little bit quieter of a year for
Yep.
concerts, but that's not a bad thing. Money's tight for everyone in the world right now,
Mhm.
so that's not a bad thing. But yeah, I don't know. There's lots of good stuff. I was considering going out to the concert in LA for Ronnie James Dio, like they do it every year.
Okay.
Sebastian Bach is headlining. I think I have a scheduling conflict, so I think I'm not going to be able to. But I highly encourage people to go if they can. I mean, that's it's a cool thing that they do, and there's a lot of cool people in the crowd. Like I know Neil Turbin's always there, Wendy Dio is almost always there,
Mm.
and Sebastian Bach will put on a good show. So yeah, we'll have to table
Cool.
it. So in May, Rich and we'll touch on concerts.
Yeah, and new music too.
Yeah, yeah, and we'll come back with a new slew of new music. But all right. Thanks,
Yeah.
Rich. I think we're good. Thanks,
Yep.
everyone.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Big finger. Big finger.